Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Learn and Move from Pro section. In today's game that we're going to be looking at, it's between two top-level female players. The person who is playing as a black pieces is Yu Zhiyin. Yu Zhiyin is currently definitely one of the top professional Go players in China as well as in the world. I think currently she is ranked number 1 in China. So if you know Cui Zhang, she is the number 1 of Korea. So the equivalent in China currently is Yu Zhiyin, who is playing black stones in today's game. So her style is very solid. She is very good at pretty much everything. So she's not. I think most female players in their games, there's a lot of aggressive and fierce fights. But Yu Zhiyin is definitely one of the exceptions. So she is her styles are very solid. The way she plays Go is very rational, very balanced, and she is very good with global ideas, but also super good at controlling endgames. So she's definitely one of the best players, one of the best female players in China right now. And basically in her game, she wins a lot of games because of her very balanced, solid style. Her opponent, who is, I would say, even more famous, she is Hei Jia Jia. So she is from Taiwan. She is definitely also a very strong Go player, and she works super hard. I'm not too, because I haven't been following a lot of her games, so I'm not exactly sure what her style is. I haven't checked that many of her games, so I confess that I don't know her play style super well. But what is interesting about her is that she is also a fashion model in Taiwan. So if you like to know more about her, she is actually very famous in Taiwan as well as in China. Definitely one of the most known female players out there. So that's just an introduction to both players, and we are go directly into the game basically. In this game, I think Yu Zhiyin played as black pieces, and Hei Jia Jia is playing as a white. Game starts with very popular settings, especially if you have watched many of my videos. This 2 space jump is super common in the AI time. I personally don't truly understand this move, so I don't play this move in my games, but definitely an AI recommended move that you can try in your game. Obviously, we'll have a 3-3 invasion, and now we have this very normal AI Joseki. Black Tanukis here. That's an excellent choice, and that's usually what AI plays. White will respond in this area, but whenever white gets a chance, I have a suggestion for the viewers that is watching my video, is that later on, white can Atari. When black connects, white can extend on to the second line, and this is always a really big move to play, right? So your corner as white, your corner has no more problems, has no more, this cutting points no longer work because of your extension at R18. And also you have a league towards a black's moyo, and also a very good stone to destroy any potential moyo on this side as well. So a very big move, a very solid territorial move to play. Whenever white gets time, this is a huge move to play. But for now, I think white will respond in this corner, and black plays another very common AI Joseki. This is just the most common Joseki right now. And now white plays a very solid corner protection, very, very solid. Once again, I think you can alternatively just play the move I already talked about. This is also an excellent choice, I believe. But white decided to take a move at f3, which is obviously not a problem. It's a big move. And now, since white did not add an extra move that I talked about, black decides to sort of pressure white's corner. White defends a 2-2, and then black makes this cut. So there are a few choices for white. White could have played this one. This is also a very popular Joseki right now, and I think this is just gonna be a Joseki. But I think what Hei Jia Jia had in her mind is that, as we can see, this influence that black builds coordinates very well with his stone, with her stone at a q6. There's a lot to work on. On the contrary, white exit on a site where where black already has a lot of defensive stones over here. So there's not much to develop on in this region. So not sure if white choose this Joseki, it's not the end of the world, but I guess for professionals, ideas are really important, right? When you choose your Josekis, you have to look at what are the stones around, what's the environment we're in. If you just exit towards this side, black is waiting for you right here, and black gets what she wants, and she can just comfortably work on the side she wants to work on. So not really an outcome that white would like to have. So instead, white decided to basically Atari the stone at s16. Black obviously will follow up by Atari from the outside. White Ataris from the top. Black connect himself over here. And white now Ataris. And then black Ataris from the outside. White captures. And now, since black has a lot of weakness over here, he needs to spend another move at 06, which is an excellent move to fix the weakness over here. So the Joseki ends here, and I think it's an equal position for both sides. Many big moves that are on the board. So white can make this Kima to expand herself and reduce black. This is an excellent move, but also working on this side is also a very big move. So this is exactly what Hei Jia Jia played in her game. So that is to expand on the bottom area. Black follows up. So if black plays somewhere like this, white could keep extending. And now black's potential, sure, black got this side to work on, but black, this side is kind of destroyed. And white sort of has some sort of potential to make territory over here. So I think this is still playable, but this is not what Yu Zhiying wants in her game. So she decided to sort of say to white, hey, you gotta stop here, no more extension, I am taking this. And now I think we are at today's move that we're gonna learn from Hei Jia Jia, basically. So I think if I was to play a white, this move start to look really appealing to me. I mean, this is definitely a move, that reduces black over here, but also expand myself as white to, I have a huge moyo to work on. So I would have played this one if I was in the game, which I don't know if it's a good idea or not, because I'm just not a professional player, and the professionals did not comment on really which move to play next. But to me, and I think to many of you, this looks like a really attractive move to play at this point. Also, if you thought about sort of connecting all your group and making a huge site over here, could also be an excellent choice. But that's not what Hei Jia Jia played in the game. So let's look at what she played in the game. She decides to go directly into black's corner. This is an excellent move that I definitely learned from Hei Jia Jia. She, very direct, very clear what she wants to do. Very easy to master. I think this move is just that you go in and you destroy black's moyo. If I was to destroy the moyo, I'd probably play here. But when black kicks, and then I will be immediately under attack, right? If I don't know exactly how black is gonna attack these two white stones, but white will be immediately under attack. There's no roots. There's no ice space for white. Maybe the game will just sort of start to black's gonna gain momentum in her game, possibly, if we invade like this. So nope. So Hei Jia Jia decides to go directly into the corner, a move that I would recommend to all the viewers. So does it work? Let's take a look. So one of the possible variation is for a black to block here, but it turns out that white can attach on the third line. Black sort of needs to stop white from coming out, and white can just now cross-cut black. So now, usually black would extend herself at a p6. That's a very standard shape, but tactically, this is not going to work out. White can just block black in this direction. Very, very aggressive. Black really needs to save these two stones, right? It doesn't matter what happens if white captures these two stones. Black is in a collapsing situation, because this was black's moyo to start with. If you let white capture your two stones, that's a bad outcome regardless what happens elsewhere. So black needs to fight this one, and his best way is probably to Atari and then extend. But unfortunately, this is not going to work out for black, mostly because of this ladder. So white can cut first. Black needs to defend this threat over here. So he needs to play. She needs to play basically squeeze white's liberty. But that's not a problem. White can now just basically squeeze black's liberty. And now I will leave it to you to check this ladder. This is not going to work for black. So looks like this stone's going to help, but you can verify by yourself that this ladder is not going to work for black. So if this ladder does not work for black, then that's pretty much game over, because black stones are just dead. There's no way he can fight any of these groups on the bottom, and then that's pretty much a huge lead for white at this point. So when white crosscut, it seems to be very severe. Black cannot play the normal extension that she wants. So her best attempt is probably to extend herself at a q5. When white Ataris, she can extend, and then white's best move is probably connect herself at q8. Black will play another move to prevent white. So white is threatening to play this one. So black somehow needs to defend, and her most active way to defend is to crow at s8. And now white can end the variation by playing the O4. So it's probably playable for black, but this is not the ideal outcome. Why? Because white reduces black's moyo in sente with these 3 stones. And now she's making use of this aji over here to create an invasion. This is hard for black to deal with. So I guess pretty much black now has to defend her weakness over here. And no matter how she defends, white has moved to play over this region, right? Let's say she defends simply, white can probably connect herself to this group over here, creating pressure onto black's M4 stone. So an excellent outcome for white, acceptable for black, but probably not what Yu Zhiying wants in her game. So, which is why she did not block at R3. Instead, she blocks on top, which is at a Q4. Notice here, white should not play a very natural looking extension because black can now block white at R6. So, looks like you have enough ice space to make yourself alive, but when you go into the 3-3, black will play a second line extension. That is a killer move. White is in a difficult situation. If she blocks and tries to make ice space, we are at a small L shape, and this is just a clear death for white. So white probably has to go ahead and struggle something over here, which is already it's dangerous, right? Black can maybe use her strength over here to this corner is sort of in all sorts of trouble when black even just turn here. There's not much you can do outside really. When you cut, I can just pull the stone out, and black can hold this position. If she holds the position outside, white's probably gonna die inside. So not a great idea for white to just extend, which is why in the game Hei Jia Jia decides to attach. That is a much better way of playing. This is the correct move in this situation. So black has 2 choices, and both of them are pretty solid. So black can honey. So as black, my suggestion is that you can play R7 as well. This is not what happened in the game, but this is a okay choice for black as well to respond to this invasion. White will connect herself at R5. That's a correct continuation. Black extends on the second line, try to squeeze out white's ice space, and then white pushes to make use of black's threats, and then crawls into the corner. Black once again played the Q2, a very important point to make himself solid outside. White Ataris, and notice here, this is very important. If white Ataris because she feels really comfortable just playing this Atari, this is actually not so great. So black essentially black might directly look to basically kill the corner, the white's corner here. But even if she just plays this, this exchange turns out to be not so good for white anyway. So this is why white did not Atari black on top. Looked like a very comfortable Atari, but it doesn't do much really. From a practical point of view, it's not doing much. So white decided to white can actually play R2 instead, and now black can absolutely not come in and try to kill white because of this weakness. So if black attaches, we wedge. Black is dead. Black's only way to get her 3 stones out is to Atari, but white can now connect, and when black struggles with this move, white can Atari first and Atari on top, and then maybe just Atari once more, and then now black is certainly in huge trouble, right? This cut won't work because it's Atari. So yeah, black really has to fix his weakness. And white can absolutely not Tanuki here, because if white goes anywhere else, this is a very important life and death. And as you can see, why it's so important to watch my life and death series as well, because life and death it's everywhere, right? If you don't know and you Tanuki, you think you're alive. Black is gonna play the small, is gonna play the Kima, and then white is in a clean death situation, right? I'm not going to life and death, not our topic, but I will tell you in advance that white will die. There's absolutely no code. This is a clean death. But black has to find the small Kima. So white will just block this threat. So the outcome of this is black gets a very thick outside, and white is happy with a medium-sized corner that she gets over here. It's a successful invasion, but the game will keep going. It's a trade-off between territory and influence. Absolutely playable for both sides. Not what happened in the game though. So in the game, they settled for a more simple variation, which is this is the actual game, and black decides to keep her territory over here. White Ataris and black extends, and white plays. This is a very important move. I'd say a lot of amateurs would play this one, but turns out that black can peep and then drag her stone back, and now white is lacking ice space, so white is not alive, and this white group is just gonna be a target of attack, right? Maybe immediately white needs to worry about this group right now. Insecurity is definitely a depth for you, and you shouldn't. If you can settle your group safely, do it. Like, don't create insecurities for your group, because it might get killed. It might be used by your opponent for him to gain benefits and stuff later on. So Hei Jia Jia definitely played the correct move. That is this Kosumi over here. And now the game will keep moving on, because there's no immediate way for black to attack this group because of the excellent move that Hei Jia Jia played, this Kasumi, making her shape really flexible and basically pretty much alive. And she does not need to worry about this group anymore, thanks to the R8. So the variation ends here. What white did is successfully invaded the side. Black kept the corner, but white successfully destroyed Moyo on this side. Definitely worth a move that I would recommend in your game. So usually now Tanukis locally and plays moves outside. In the game, just very equal, and the game will just move on from here. And today the move we learned is to actually peep directly into a corner like this. When your opponent has a structure like this, especially with a stone over here, peeping at R4 is an excellent move to, and it's very direct, and it's very clear what it does. It directly invades your opponent's territory, and I think it's a very easy move to master, especially after you watch my video today. So hopefully you can make great use of this peeping invasion in your game. And if you like the video, give a thumbs up, and subscribe for more, basically more videos from the 3 series that I have. And at the end of every month, I will have a special video as well. So stay tuned, and I will talk to you guys later on.